It survived multiple sieges of Edinburgh Castle. Now it is the oldest building in Edinburgh, is linked to Holyrood Abbey, and was named after a Queen of Scotland that was also a princess of the House of Wessex. Hi, this is Veronica from History Victorium. Join us as we visit St. Margaret's Chapel in Edinburgh. The chapel was built during the 12th century, during the reign of Margaret's youngest son, David I. Originally, it was part of a larger building with royal lodging that resembled a Norman tower, which is not surprising considering that David had spent much time at the English court under Norman rule. It was dedicated to Margaret, Queen of Scotland, along with Holyrood Abbey, which is located at the opposite end of the Royal Mile. The tower, including the chapel, was known as St. Margaret's Tower and was built on the highest point of the volcanic rock on which the present-day Edinburgh Castle sits. The chancel arch is original, but the plain columns are replacements. It has been suggested that the chancel arch was built in the early 12th century due to the fact that Holyrood Abbey was founded in 1128, and it has the same chevron arch. From the southern side of the Holyrood Abbey ruins, we find a chevron arch here into the nave. Around 1047, Margaret was born in Hungary, since her father was in exile. Her family returned to Wessex when she was a child, and her father died soon after their arrival. In 1068, her family was forced to move to Scotland after a rebellion in which her brother took part in against King William, also known as William the Conqueror. In 1070, Margaret married King Malcolm III of Scotland, who had been in exile as a child after Macbeth had killed his father, King Duncan. Margaret was known for her charitable works, including setting up a ferry for pilgrims to travel to Dunfermline Abbey. A copy of St. Margaret's Gospel is contained here, and the original is associated with the only miracle attributed to St. Margaret while living. It was said that the book had fallen out of her saddlebag and into a river. When a servant went to retrieve the book, it was found submerged underwater, and it was undamaged. Edinburgh Castle was captured by Robert de Bruce in 1314, who then destroyed the castle as part of his strategy against the English, but left this chapel standing. Robert de Bruce dedicated £40 to restore the chapel while he was on his deathbed and spoke of the story of St. Margaret. The south side of the building here has burnt and red stonework as a result of the 1314 siege. The north wall is not original, but the three other walls are from the time of its original construction. The chapel fell into disuse and eventually was used to house gunpowder in the 15th century. In 1845, the building's original purpose was discovered, which led to the restoration of the building. The stained glass was replaced and the current ones added in 1922. The windows illustrate St. Margaret, St. Andrew, St. Columba, St. Ninian, and William Wallace. According to the life of St. Margaret, which was written several years after her death, as Queen of Scotland, she helped free English prisoners who were treated badly or wrongfully imprisoned. She sent spies to the provinces of Scotland to find which captives were treated with the greatest inhumanity, then paid their ransom. She also secretly gave gold coins to the poor from the king's own private property. The king caught her in the act and laughingly threatened to have her arrested. King Malcolm III died on November 13, 1093, during a siege of Alnwick Castle. Margaret, who had been ill, died in Edinburgh soon after receiving the news of his death. Explore more locations with us here, and thank you for joining History Victorium. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.